Welcome to the bold analysis. Someone next to William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, and Moses Kuria should whisper to the three leaders that the youths that were engaging the police in hide and seek in running battles during the just concluded mass action are heading back to the street, and it seems it's with a renewed force. What am I talking about? One of the things that will send Kenya Kwanza home before 2027 is the ugly face of joblessness, because it's cutting across women, children, youth, and everyone. As we speak, EPZ laid off 700 casual workers today, by today, the 26th of July. And even though it is normally being done, it had been done in phases, but by 26th, they had laid off 700. Just today I received even a call from one person who was working that Kevin, we've lost our jobs. In fact, he was asking for some assistance. We've left our jobs. We've been laid off. So, and you cannot blame them, because they are saying that the cost of labor, the cost of doing business has become a problem. Let's look at this. EPZ has been laying off workers for a while now. Ever since the cost of production and tax went high, majority of EPZ workers have lost their jobs, gone to so many outrages EPZ, and the truth be told, many will be laid off it's a matter of time. There was this one time I was there, walitolewa list of people wanafaa kureport job the following day. Mtu anatafuta jina lake, anajikosa, kulia ndio inabaki option na hakuna kitu naweza fanya. Now that is how it is being done. I will not want to get the nitty-gritties of the labor rights, but I just want to get straight to the point that the ugly face of unemployment is going to wreak havoc on the people, because something is not right. And you know, when we were talking about the finance bill that has been suspended, we raised pertinent questions on the kind of how that was going to help resuscitate the economy. I'm one person, I'm not an economist, but looking at following the political discourse as far as economy recovery is concerned, I do tend to feel that it is being simplified as just simple as being able to run government from our domestic income and reduce over-reliance on debts. But I will repeat, for those who follow the board, I've been saying here, that the problem has never been on who is giving us money, whether we are collecting locally or we're using loans. The problem has been our expenditure. Now, what is really affecting this country, and why Ruto, I am saying that Ruto should prepare for the street, the young people to go to the street because they don't have jobs. When they were protesting last week about the cost of living, the propaganda battalion successfully painted a picture that Raila Odinga is actually pushing the Kenyan youths to protest, since they're pushing his individual agenda. And it has been, the propaganda has been spinned with someone saying, you know what, Raila is using the young people so that he can bargain for a handshake on Usumkata. And it has different versions. That narrative has different versions. And while that is a discussion that the political class is having, but the gospel truth here is the young people that are also going, even if they are being facilitated, the young people do not have jobs. So these people that have been sent home, some of them have children, are even married, and the dependency ratio is very high. It's a ratio of 1 to 10, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, where one pay slip from EPZ is supporting someone, his wife, and his children. You know, even some supporting back their parents, their aging parents back at home. And if EPZ is laying off, and what about the other companies? There's been a trend of people being laid off. Even government is considering laying off. So it's because of these three blunders. And that's what I want us to look at. Kindly subscribe to our channel, and thank you very much for your support. We are doing 100 subscribers challenge. We are targeting 100 subscribers per day. So the best thing you can do is just to confirm, have you subscribed? Subscribe to our channel, and of course will help us in achieving that. 3. We have a pro-government taxation regime. I'm very intentional by using the word pro-government. It's pro-government because it is anti-business. What was proposed, like the matching, you know, at this point of you are matching statutory deductions, NHIF, probably NSSF, not NHIF, NSSF, and the 1.5 housing levy that was proposed. Even though I've realized it has not been cut, even though they're saying that they might backdate. So there are a lot of taxes that has been introduced, and even on the value, in the value chain, those who are importing those stuff for use in production, even importing those machines, it's very, very tricky. And the pro-government taxation regime is what was at the center of the 16% VAT. In fact, energy is a primary factor of production in nearly all these companies. Be it the machines, the plant, logistics, cost of transporting those materials, even materials from the port to the company, the output, the products from the company to the customers. The energy itself is a factor of production there. 16% VAT was implemented. While government on the other side has achieved the objective of getting more revenues so that they can reduce over-reliance on loans, but it's selfishly on their end. But in the side of the entrepreneurship, in the side of manufacturers are struggling. It is indeed true that manufacturers are struggling. That's number one. Number 2, the cost of business. The cost of doing business in this country. I'm telling you. KRA is, you know, the taxman is on the neck of any other entrepreneur here. I'm not saying it's wrong to seal corruption, seal leakages, to seal the leakages. But then, if you look at arbitration rules, what was actually proposed in arbitration, the overtaxation has also made it very difficult, even for some of these people to do business. And when sometimes you can't manage, my business teacher, Mr. Michael Washika, says, when the cost of business is high, then you must, as a company, find out which costs are within your disposal and you can manage. And one that management runs for is the labor. So that is it. This cost of business has brought a problem because anyone in business must make profit. And making profit needs sales. Of course, large-scale sales. So when people don't have disposable income, it means even the consumption is down. And when the consumption shrinks, then the company also has to reduce how much they are producing. On that, the ripple effect is on the labor. You know, machines, you cannot return machines to China or the company bought, but labor you can always size down. So the value of, in fact, the value of business in Kenya. I listened to Rigi G saying while in Italy, and it was very funny. The deputy president was saying that they're trying to find avenues in which government of Kenya can create a way of collecting or keeping money for our brothers and sisters working abroad, so that the government of Kenya can reinvest that money on their behalf. And I was like, even if what is already collected here is not properly reinvested, how would someone working very hard overseas trust Kenyan government with this of your money? If you make that mistake, it's upon you. The depreciating value of the dollar. Today, the value was trading at 142. You know, people have always not got it. It means that if $1 is being bought at 145 Kenyan shillings, and the dollar is the international standard, is the international currency for trade, that means that there is a demand for the dollar, and Kenyans are using a lot of money, that you need to spend 142 to buy that dollar, Kenyan shillings. What does that mean? We are draining a lot of money from the circulation, and that money is being used, or rather is being used for business. In fact, especially those who are buying raw materials from abroad. If you're buying a raw material from a foreign country, what you're using is the dollar. Now, when the value of the dollar is high, that means you're spending a lot, the value of the dollar vis-a-vis Kenyan shillings is high. That means you're spending a lot of money here. You are carrying money with bags to the bank. You know, if you will spend 100 shillings for $1, then you're spending 142. It means that you don't even have money here. You're spending a lot, and then it brings the equilibrium, not equilibrium, it alters the equilibrium. That you realize that we are taking a lot of money outside compared to what is coming in. And that is having a ripple effect in our economy. That is what I'm saying. You can unleash the police and the guns and the weapons and anything and any militia to the street for the protest. But silently, Kenyans may be weak. Kenyans may be afraid of the police. Kenyans may be afraid of the tear gas canisters and the bullets and the rubber bullets and also and the rungus. But the reality here is that after that, as you spend time on the top of the car, I wish you calm down and sort some issues, because the trend of layoff might consume government, and that could be the second phase of political aggression. What do you think? Thank you, guys.